Hey everyone, I'm Jay. I team up with Jason on community management and love sharing no-code solution for our members. If you prefer the code path, Jason and Kai has some code deep dive in Playwright in the community classroom on linking script topic. And feel free to leave comment there. So today's mini course shows a workflow combo using Airtop, NAN, and Airtable, or any DB layer you like. The logic of this solution is Airtop script, NAN chains node and app for automation and data transfer. DB layer save every result input-output so the pipeline scales and for further analysis. And I will take my linking as quick example. Linking's person page includes titles, about section, experience, skills, education. We will include how we resolve the live logging part and click interaction on the element to scrape more information. Dealing with linking example here, and you can apply the same logics for other pages. For example, the discover page, shopping page, and product page. Before we dive into the workflow, let's talk about three questions. First, what is Airtop? Second, why we use Airtable, Notion, Google Sheets, this DB layer? Three, why NAN, Mac.com, or Zapier are so important to help us scrape. Let's talk about Airtop. So Airtop is no-code browser automation tool and interact with the web page directly in prompt. So I'll show you a quick example here and we'll introduce each features before we dive into the workflow. For coders, when you do want lower control of your automation, Airtop support Playwright and Puppeteer script. You can easily integrate with them. I'll also post a doc link in our community as well. First, click API Playground. This is like a big box. Here represents a session. Think of a temporary browser that you can control, and when you paste a linking profile into the field, it opens a window like your new browser tab. For example, I'll put my linking profile here, and I'll put a profile name. I will talk profile later. Start session means you create a session, a temporary environment that let Airtop control the browser for you. And you can use the feature type here to get, fill, or tapping and interact with page. So basically, in our first case, we will use page query with our prompt to get data from my profile page. You can say it is live environment. You can scroll and click. But for this case, we use page query to get data. Then we put the prompt here. This prompt basically just tell the Airtop that we have profile page, we want a JSON format, then give a schema. Let's run it. After 25 seconds, we have these JSON results. There are some non-value because I don't have website, I don't fill the phone number on my linking profile. So it did not get, but overall it's robust. Then back to another feature is browser session. On the free tier, we only have one session running. It means we cannot do parallel or bot. To reset the session, you can terminate and start a new one with the studio feature. The third part is the API key. You will get this API key for the next step the workflow use and already activate it. And go to the profile feature. If you are just create a new profile, means you give the token and cookies to Airtop. Next time, you don't need to log in when you do the script. I just create a linking profile for me. When I do the API Playground, I don't even log in my linking because I already have this profile help me to log. Since you have other platforms to log in, you can create a new profile for that account. That's pretty much, so you definitely can explore their examples and template here to find more information you need. Let's move to the second part, why we need a DB layer. This is my table called BD context on Airtable. And I have a list of person's information about their linking profile, and then do this as an input and give to the Airtop and let Airtop one by one do the script and fill all the information here. There are some cases I did in the morning and fetch their headline and previous positions. This is pretty similar what I did on the UI page, but I have the Airtable with workflow to make a loop and all filled together in the Airtable. Having this DB layer to help you understand, it enforces a schema that you can easily store the data and uses all data in a structured way for future analysis. I will show more detail in the workflow. Great. Let's move into the third part, the automation tool. I will show you a 5-step flow to manage your Airtop script session into a workflow reliably with Airtable node. First, set up profile online using UI feature. Then, we will use workflow to do from step 2 to step 5. We will have a new session and open Windows and the linking profile saved in DB's layer. We do the script or interaction and script, then terminate session. Let's build the quick grab live workflow. You see this square, that's the node represented any application you can connect. For example, tap Airtop, you see the Airtop, and all the actions that I mentioned on the UI page. For example, we start with create a session, then create a window, query a page without prompt, and finish the terminate session. Once you click any node or action, there are a layer of the input data. So you just need to put your credential here, as I said, your API key, then go to resources, search session, window, go to the operation part. For this node, top layer is session, next layer is terminate session. Put a dynamic variable, click expression, put session ID. Let's see how a workflow can be utilized. Let me test workflow to give quick demo how I connect them and how the result is updated on my Airtable. Usually, this whole workflow takes 1 minute to get one person's profile script and updated, and then terminate session. Great, let's get started. First, we have our manual trigger to trigger the whole workflow. The first action, which is create the session, because this is always step 1. We need to input our profile name if you want linking data or like Amazon data. Those websites require your login to get full information. After you create a session, you need Airtable to search record. For example, we can find my linking profile. And then we create a window based on the session. And then we put a prompt extract page. So you can see the whole prompt remains same. Then we have some code read by ChatGPT to do the flattened JSON to parse the data into a different key, and we can see back to Airtable, terminate the session. Let's start to see the results. You see it's running. Now take 45 seconds to finish, get one person profile and update the result to Airtable. Great, workflow 1 is finished. Let's go to format JSON to see the final value. For example, is my name, the headline, the location. It's then parsed into a very structured JSON. As mentioned before, we can use each key and value for input into Airtable. You see updated headline, updated previous positions. Great, back to Airtable. So you see the last record with my name and my profile. This as input, and after that is output. So I saved the headline and previous position in JSON. So you can see we got all data here in a very structured way. One thing I love how Airtable is structured, we can mark as the status. It means we can trace each record when we're doing the loop or doing something in bulk. We have to manage our all records together to see how the process going instead of monitor the NAN. Great, let's go to workflow 2. This pink part highlights 2 extra new nodes, but for other nodes, it all remains same. We create a new session, new window, get record we want. Click the button, give a prompt here. It's called element description, but still a prompt. Then that new page with a new prompt. I'll show you here. So let's go back to my linking. As you can see, on my linking, there are several buttons, right? Show all comments, but the case is show all experience. When I click this button, the URL is changed. It adds the details experience /. So it goes a new page with only my experience here. Let's go back to the workflow and do the test, see how it goes and what result we can get and update it to Airtable. This workflow, it may take longer time than the first workflow since we extrude the whole experience page. And I know some members who have their experience very long with description, with different skill set, different bullet points. So it may also take more API credits. Be careful when you do bulk and loop. Great. The workflow 2 is finished. Let's dive into the format JSON to understand what you get. we can see from table view, current position and previous position. In the new prompt, I give the full context of each position, extract the detailed information, and then it returns this JSON format. So we only have two key, current position and previous position. If we combine them together, it means the full experience of that page. Because I scraped a new person's profile, it has long description of data, so it take more credit and a longer time. Then we can go back to Airtable node, see it all works, full experience. Then we go back to Airtable, view this person, status is down. This workflow updated the full experience here. You see it exactly the same as showed in my JSON. Great. Workflow 2 and 1 are down correctly and smoothly. All right. This no-code workflow approach gives you a fast and reliable way to build end-to-end scripting demos, automate data collection at scale. I want to share 2 reasons why I prefer this approach and spent 3 years on building different workflows. First is velocity of iteration. You can go from idea to MVP in hours, not days. The module setup make it easy to plug into your existing system or reuse components without breaking the whole system. It gives you hands-on exposure to how modern AI automation works or how AI tool like Airtop works. You understand the session, prompt, selectors, and session state without writing raw code. It's a fast, intuitive way to level up your understanding. And I'll be share our all prompt and key takeaways in the community space. So feel free to drop your questions, comments, and the next topic you want there, and also share what you're building or let us know what you'd like to cover in future lessons. Thanks so much, guys.